Okay, now we are. Okay, 3, 2, 1, start. Hi, this is Grace,
What's my name?
and her name is Katie Grace, and she's my wife. And
We're Gressom and Katie Grace, and we're living in Nepal. And this is our house, and we just got married, and
in November 14th.
yeah.
And so just we want to tell you about a little bit about our story. So yeah.
Our story is really wild, and we just wanted to tell you about it because a lot of people have asked how the heck I got to Nepal all the way from America in the middle of a pandemic. So
this is the story of once upon a time in sorry.
Yeah, you're doing great. Keep going.
Yeah. Last year in December 7th we got engaged, and so boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that Katie had to go World Race program for 3 months in Cambodia and Thailand.
I met Gressom on the World Race, and then I came back in December, we got engaged, and then I went and led a 3-month trip with World Race to Cambodia and Thailand, but it got cut short and because of Corona, and then we had to fly back to the US, and then Nepal shut the borders, and I wasn't able to come to Nepal for 7 months.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to get married in May, but obviously that didn't happen. So then finally in November I was able to come.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we got back to Kathmandu. I went to airport to receive her.
No, we have to tell the story.
What?
How I got here.
Okay, Katie is going to tell you how she got Nepalese visa every city. Okay?
Yeah. Also, I don't have corona. I just have a stupid cough, but it's getting better.
I also don't have corona. Okay, go ahead.
So, the whole time that I was stuck in the U.S., I was living with my parents, and it was a great time. But like all the time, Gressom and I were trying to figure out how the heck I could get from the U.S. to Nepal, even though the borders were closed. And there were like a couple times when we thought that there was going to be a way, and like we bought plane tickets, and then always it wouldn't work out. And so one day in October, it was like the last week of October, I got this message from a friend who used to live in Nepal, and she was like, hey, I have another friend who's going back to Nepal. Do you want to know like how she's going? And I was like, yes, give me all the information. So this girl named Megan Terry, we love you, Megan, if you ever watch this video. But oh my gosh. But she's literally an angel from the Lord. She just sent me this video or voice message on WhatsApp, and she sent me like every single document that I needed to submit to get a trekking visa to come to Nepal, because Nepal had just opened for trekkers to come. So she had like figured out all the information, all the documents I needed. She had like already booked a trek with this trekking agency, and then she was like, I'm going next week. Like she texted me on a Friday, and she was leaving the next Friday, and she was like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, yes. And so I submitted all my documents to this trekking agency, and then I didn't find out if like I got approved to come until it was like 3 days before I came. So it was like a weird week of just like waiting, not knowing, and like kind of starting to pack. And it was just weird, like thinking I could move and get married, like move across the world in 1 week, but I didn't know. So obviously I called Gressom, and I was so excited when I found out that I might be able to come.
Wow.
So yeah, then I found out that I got like the trekking documents from the Department of Immigration or Tourism, I don't know, but anyway, I got these documents that the trekking agency sent me, and they were like, hey, bring these to the airport with you and you'll be able to come. And so then I had to get tested for corona. I had to call all these labs all across Maryland trying to find a lab that would like a testing place that would give me results within, because you have to have the results. You have to get tested 78 hours before your flight. 72 hours? 72 hours? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then 72 hours before the flight, and then get your results back before the flight leaves. And so I had to pay like $250, and I ended up going to this random lab that is not even open for testing, but they just like, I got in touch with the owner, and he was like, yeah, come by, like, if you pay $250, we'll give you your results. So I did that. My results were negative. So then I packed my stuff, and we go to the airport. My family took me to the airport, and we get there, and like, you know, when you check your bags and the people ask for your passport, and they asked me for my documents that I had brought. And so I had this like folder this thick with all the documents that the trekking agency said I would need. So I like whip out this folder, and I open it up, and I'm like giving him all these documents. He's looking at all of them. He's like, you don't have a letter from the embassy in Nepal. And I was like, no. And he was like, you don't have a visa already? I was like, no. And I like, from what I understood, I would just get like a tourist visa on arrival once I got to Nepal. And so I didn't have that. I didn't have a visa already. And so he was like, well, you can't go. Like, you have to have a visa. You have to have a letter from the embassy. And I was like, oh. And so he said that they were like trying to contact the embassy in Nepal to see if they would like.
No, I'm coughing.
I know, you never called. But they were calling the embassy in Nepal to see if they would like let me in. But it was nighttime. It was like 4 a.m. in Nepal, and so obviously the embassy was not picking up their phone. They also never pick up their phone. But and so they just told me to wait there to see if the embassy would ever answer the phone. So I'm like waiting, and I waited for like an hour and a half, and I'm like texting Gresham, and I'm like, pray! Like, they're not letting me on the flight, and my family's there praying.
That night she's supposed to come to Nepal, and she was preparing. She was in airport, and I was sleeping because in that day I was preaching a lot. Like, I had a lot of church fellowship, preaching, ABCD, so I was super busy, and so yeah, and I was super tired, and I told her if there is any problem, anything you want you to let me, like you allow you wanted to tell me anything, like you can text me. And so my Wi-Fi I was in online whole night, and I was sleeping. And so early in the morning, around 4, I don't know, so around that time, God told me to pray. Woke up and pray, wake up and pray, wake up and pray. But I was ignoring. God, please let me sleep because I'm tired. Katie is coming. I need to be super healthy and energetic, ABCD like that. And so I wanted to sleep. Yeah. And so, because it was super early, around 4, because most of the time I wake up every time in the 4:45, 4:30 like that in my prayer time. But yeah, that day I was just pretending I'm not okay, like that, super tired, like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And God was telling me to pray for Katie, but I did not. And later on, 2 minutes later, my messengers, what do you call that?
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger. Bang, like that. And I checked, that is the message from Katie. And she said, babe, I stuck in US, there is a problem, they are not letting me in, ABCD. I had to wake right now. And I wake up and kneel down and I pray for Katie, and I prayed for Katie for a while, and just miracles happen.
So wait, no, so he was praying, and I was freaking out, and then I was just standing at the check-in desk, and you know, like, before a flight, they close the check-in desk, like, I think it's like an hour and a half before the flight leaves, and so it was getting close to that time. And I was a little nervous, obviously. And so I was thinking, like, I had so many goodbye parties, I had packed all my stuff, like, it had been a process to get me to the airport, and I was like, I am not going back home. Like, this is ridiculous. Alright, we are packing here. Mom's got the Bible packed. Katrina's working on the conditioner situation over there. Hunter rolled and packed all my clothes in 2, what are those things called?
Some
Packing
other small
cubes.
thing could fit in this.
I can put my journal in it. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, yeah, so we're trying to fit all my clothes in this bag. Carry on, and then Hunter crammed my wedding dress in the duffel bag over there. Bye!
Katie Crockett!
Give kisses!
We'll see you in heaven, Katie!
Bye, Miss Horner! So, I was like looking at the check-in desk people. Everyone, like the check-in desk was empty. No one was checking in. They were all already at the plane. And there was this one nice looking lady. She was like a little bit old, and I was like, she looks really nice. I'm gonna go talk to her. So I go over there, and I was just like asking her, can you tell me exactly what documents I need to have next time I try to come to the airport? And she whips out this piece of paper, and it had like, if you're a U.S. diplomat, like what documents you need to get into Nepal. If you are, I think it was like U.S. diplomat, like, I don't know, there was like 3 options, and the last option was Trekker, and it said 2 documents that I needed, and I had those 2 documents, and I was like, I don't think that I need like a letter from the embassy, and she's like, you definitely do, but I was like, but I have these 2 documents, but one of the documents was only written in Nepali, and so nobody at the check-in desk could understand what it said. And so they were like, I was like, is there anybody at the airport that speaks Nepali? And she was like, I think there might be one lady who works here. And so over the loudspeaker in the airport, they're like, does anybody speak Nepali? Can you come to the check-in desk?
Does anybody
Qatar
speaks
Airways.
Nepali?
And so I had like 15 minutes until the check-in desk closed. So I was like, come on, people. So this lady finally comes. And she speaks Nepali, she reads the document, and at that point, like, the main person for Qatar Airways, like, I don't know, the boss man, was there, and he was, like, reading the documents, and he obviously didn't speak Nepali either, so he was asking her, like, he was the guy who was going to make the decision whether I could get on the plane or not, and he was asking her, like, is this the right document? And she was like, I don't know, like, it says that it's a request for a visa, but it doesn't say, like, when she's gonna get the visa, if she's supposed to already have it or she's gonna get it there. And so he was like, I don't know. And he was like, I just like don't want to put you on the plane and then they send you back. Like that looks really bad on our end. And so I was just standing there like staring at them, praying like, God, change his mind, change his mind. And you know, my brother's standing next to me praying, my mom's standing next to me, Gresson's praying in Nepal, and then the guy just like randomly, he was like, just let her on the plane, and he just like walked away. And so they checked me in, and I had to run to the plane, and I got on, and we had to wear like face shields, face masks, and then I had like half the plane to myself. There was nobody on it hardly. But it was a 12-hour flight to Qatar, and then another like 5-hour flight to Nepal. And the whole time I was so nervous that like I would get there and they wouldn't let me in. So, but anyway, I got there to the airport finally in Nepal, and I was the only foreigner there, and literally I got off the plane and like I just got a visa. Like they just were like, you want your visa? And I was like, yeah. And they asked me for how long, and I said 3 months, and they're like, okay. And I paid them the money, and they gave me a visa, and I went and got my bags, and I walked out and saw Gresson. Like, it was literally the easiest thing I've ever done. So then I finally saw Gresham for the first time in 10 months, because the last time we had seen each other was when we got engaged in December. So I finally saw him.
We are going to celebrate Christmas together. Merry Christmas.
How excited were you to see me?
Yeah, so I was super excited. I woke up. I had to go to the airport around, what time you were?
Like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, I had to be there around 2 to receive her, because always like, you know, the visa stuff like
Takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a while. So I woke up super early around 11, and so I made my brother wake, and so I said, Samuel, let's go to the airport. And we're riding from my house to airport. Is like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It was super cold, and so yeah, and I reached in the airport, and something happened like this. This is me, Grace. So I'm ready. I'm here in the airport. So I am here to receive Kitty. So yeah. So, oh my gosh, long time. After a long time, I'm here in the airport to wish you her. Super excited.
Hello.
Yeah, we are here. Thank you. And this is me. So we are together by the grace of God. Yeah. Okay. So she's safe. She's here and she's with me. I love you. Bye bye.
So then after that, after we saw each other, I had to be quarantined in a hotel for 7 days because of Corona. And it was honestly pretty cool though that they let Gresham pick me up from the airport. Like Nepal doesn't really care what you.
They care.
They care, but their way of like
they fear.
enforcing the rules is pretty weak, honestly. So I was very thankful for that because I got to see Gresham.
Yeah.
And then he took me to the hotel, and
Hotel.
I went there, and
7 days.
7 days I was there. But Gresham got to come hang out with me once a day, and he would bring me food, which was also amazing. It kind of defeated the purpose of quarantine, but I was not complaining. So once a day, Gresham would come and bring me food that his sisters made for me, and yeah, it was so nice.
Yeah.
Back to my favorite time of the day, when Gresham brings me food. It's so cute.
Yes.
What do we got today?
This is
What the heck is that?
the curry. This is really good.
No,
I think
what's that thing?
egg.
Oh.
Come on.
And then I sit in this chair, and he brings it to me.
Yes.
My best
Yes.
fiance.
I'm sorry. This is the thing. Where I can put this.
Yes.
And just. Yes. This is dal. And this is the curry. I think I can put this here. And
You should have been a waiter. Did you ever
Yeah.
think about that?
And yeah, after 7 days quarantine, yeah, we got
got
back
to be
home.
free.
Yeah,
Freedom. And we went back
Yeah.
to his house with his family, and
yeah.
we
so
had 1 week to get ready until we got married. So we,
had a really good time.
the whole time that I was in the U.S. and he was in Nepal, we had been praying that the Lord would provide for us a place to live close to where his family lives. And cut that out. And there was one cute little yellow house that we felt like the Lord was saying that that was our house, but it took a really long time for it to be open for us to be able to come. And so like the whole lockdown period, it was just like very frustrating because the house owner kept saying like, okay, you guys are telling Gresham, like, Gresham, it's open for you to move in on this date, and then it would be like, just kidding, wait a month. But then literally the day I got here, the house opened, and like it was just like ready for us to move in after we got married. And so after I got out of quarantine in the hotel, Gresham, I basically just stayed home with his sisters and learned how to cook Nepali food. I didn't know anything about that, but I learned how to cook, I learned how to wash clothes, all that stuff. And then Gresham was just getting our house ready, painting, putting in carpet. yeah, so that our house would be ready after our wedding, which it was, and that was so fun. Wait, can we put in that clip after our wedding of the Chips Ahoy? That really funny clip? We're gonna put a clip in right now, and it's the day, so we came here after our wedding and slept here, and then like all we had was a bed, and like that's it. We didn't have running water, we didn't have gas for the stove, like we didn't have any food. All we had was our clothes and a box of Chips Ahoy cookies. So we woke up the morning after our wedding and we were like, what do we do? And you can see in the video what we do. So.
Yeah.
We got married.
Mm-hmm.
We're in our new house.
Mm-hmm.
We have no water or gas for the stove, so and we have no food except for these cookies. So it's 8 in the morning and we're eating.
Yes. So it's really good.
Yeah, we're eating cookies, and we're about to go back to Gresham's family's house to eat food because we're all hungry. And then we're gonna come back.
This is the day first.
All of our stuff. Gresham's job is to get water working because I need to wash my clothes and my body, and water is great. Lots of work. But first we need food. And Gresham only has apparently no shoes. We forgot to bring them. Alright. Yep. So it was really funny. But anyway, yeah, our house is ready. We went on a really sweet honeymoon in Pokhara. We'll make another video about that. And then we came back after our honeymoon and have just been getting our house set up. We'll do a house tour video soon too. And we've been learning how to cook. Just figuring out how to live together.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really fun. So
thank you so much for all of you who ever prayed for us, support us, and who ever sent the money as a wedding gift. And thank you so much for all of you. And keep supporting us, keep loving us. If you want to do ministry with us, and if you want to visit someday in Nepal, we all are ready.
Come.
And you can stay in our little tiny house, and just we can support you too. So thank you in these days, whatever you are, however you are praying for us, you know. So thank you so much for all of you. And in the upcoming days, we'll be uploading our ministry details, how we are living, and ABCD, all things in YouTube. So for that you need to subscribe our channel, like and share, and follow us. Yeah, and I'm super happy and blessed to get married with this woman. So praise the Lord, and thank you so much for all of you. And yeah, amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Bye bye.